Have you ever heard a guitar lick that was so good or so different from what you were used to that you knew you had to learn it immediately and you had to make it part of your playing going forward? Now that's happened to me several times in my life, but one of the times that was most significant, it was about a decade ago, and I heard this lick by English super guitarist Rick Graham. The lick is just brilliant, and it's in a video of his called "Is It Possible to Shred with Feeling?" What made this lick so mind-blowing to me was the way that he seamlessly blended scales and arpeggios. Now, I'm a child of the shred 80s. I've heard lots of scale playing, I'd heard lots of arpeggio playing, but I'd never heard the concepts just flow together so beautifully. This isn't the exact lick, but it sounded something like this. The way the scale run just merged into the arpeggio lick so perfectly still blows my mind. It really did change my idea of how to write licks using scales and arpeggios forever. I'm going to teach you how to do it right now, starting easy, then getting more advanced. So, let's play some guitar. Now, as I mentioned, I came of age in the 80s when shred guitar was blowing up. And I learned lots of scale playing ideas, lots of arpeggio playing ideas. But most of the time, we would hear players kind of keep those ideas separate. As in, okay, I'm going to play a long scale run now. Got that out of the way. Time for a few arpeggios. I can even remember talking to my guitar playing buddies about arpeggio sections in songs where players would do a sequence of arpeggios that they repeated over and over. Now that kind of playing, it always sounded like a practice exercise set to music more than it did a guitar solo to me, and it really left me cold. When I heard that Rick Graham lick, that's why it left such an impression. Here was a guy that had taken the time to be creative and combine two different technical concepts in a really beautiful way. Let's get you doing that same thing. We're going to start off easy over a backing track where the chords go from B minor to G major, so we're in the key of D major. The tools we're going to start off with are some B minor triad and B minor 7th arpeggio shapes, plus some notes from the D major scale. And the idea is to come up with licks where we embellish the arpeggio with notes from the scale and vice versa, so we don't just come up with licks that sound like this. Here's a B minor 7th arpeggio shape at the 14th position we can use. And here's a D major scale pattern we can use in that same spot. But as I said, we're going to start off simple. Let's use the arpeggio notes A and F sharp at frets 17 and 14 of the high E string, along with D at fret 15 of the B string. Play that in a triplet. Then let's play a scale-based run with the notes G and F sharp on the high E string at frets 15 and 14, the notes E, D, C sharp, and D at frets 17, 15, 14, and 15 on the B string. And then we're going to linger on the B note at fret 16 of the G string and finish by playing the A at fret 14 of the G string. We're going to give that B note some wicked vibrato that really makes that lick come alive. Here's the lick slowly. And over our backing track, the lick sounds like this. Okay, I think we're off to a pretty great start. Now we're going to turn up the heat and add some more notes. A cool trick that we can use when making up arpeggio licks is to substitute or use interchangeably the relative major and minor arpeggios. In this case, we'd be using B minor or B minor 7 and D major or D major 7. Let's use the notes C sharp and A on the E string at frets 21 and 17 and the F sharp at fret 19 of the B string. Those notes are from this D major 7 arpeggio shape. We're going to play those 3 notes and the 3 notes from our B minor 7 arpeggio that we used in the first lick. So we've got the lick going. We're going to do our same scale run from the first lick, but then we're going to play some notes that are derived from B minor pentatonic. So that scale lick again was G, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, and D. Next, we're going to slide up into the B at fret 14 of the G string. I'm sorry, that's fret 16. Play the A at fret 14 of the G string, followed by a dramatic slide from F sharp to E at fret 16 and 14 of the D string. And the D note at fret 12 of the D string, and finish on the B at fret 14 of the A string. Here's that lick played slowly. Something that always sounds pretty stunning after a passage that has a lot of notes in it is to slam on the brakes and incorporate some phrasing like those slides. Here's what this lick sounds like over our backing track. Now I hope you're digging the sound of these licks and getting a feel for how the pieces fit together. One of the most frequent things I hear from students is, well, I know this technique and I know this technique, but I don't really know how to put the pieces together and make it sound good. Well, we're really getting into that process here. Let's try another lick, and in this one, we're going to start off with a major scale run and blend it into a B minor triad. Check out this slick scale pattern on the high E string. We're going to play frets 14, 15, 14, 12, 10, 9, 10, 12, 10, and 9. Those are the notes F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, D, E, D, and C sharp. And then the A at fret 10 of the B string before descending through this B minor triad shape with B at fret 12 of the B string, F sharp at fret 11 of the G string, D at fret 12 of the D string, and finally B at fret 12 of the A string. How I'm hearing that is as a grouping of 5, 2 16th note triplets, and then 4 notes of the B minor triad as a 16th note triplet, followed by a note that we let sustain. And honestly, after picking that first note to get things going, I'd probably try to play the rest of the lick legato with hammer-ons and pull-offs. Let's try to make it sound as liquidy and as smooth as possible. Here it is over our backing track. Let's try another one in the same vein. We're going to start it off with another legato pattern on the high E string that has 13 notes this time. We're going to start on fret 14, play frets 12 and 10, and then shift to 9. Play frets 10, 12, 10, 9, and then shift to 7. Play frets 9, 10, 9, and 7. And those notes are F sharp, E, D, C sharp, D, E, D, C sharp, B, C sharp, D, C sharp, and B. I pick only the first note and the rest is legato. Then we're going to play frets 10, 8, and 7 on the B string. Those are the notes A, G, and F sharp. and then we're going to play a B minor 9 arpeggio. We're going to slide up into the C sharp at fret 9 of the high E. We're going to sit on that note for a second before doing a downward sweep of the notes at fret 7 of the E, G, and B strings. Those notes are B, F sharp, and D, and then we slide into the C sharp or the 9th again at fret 6, and that's our lick. I don't try to play this one with really strict timing. Like I said, I want these licks to sound liquidy and what we call rubato, which means the time is kind of free and flowing. I'm going to play the lick slowly one more time, and then we'll speed it up and play it over the backing track. I hope you're still here with me because I got one more lick for you. This is a fun one where we're going to mix some arpeggio substitution that we play in 16th note triplets, and we're going to integrate that in with a B minor pentatonic scale run that we're going to play in Eric Johnson-like groupings of 5. We're going to play 3 notes from D major 7 with C sharp, A, and F sharp at frets 21 and 17 on the high E and fret 19 of the B string. Then we're going to play a D major triad with the notes A and F sharp at fret 17 and 14 of the E string, and then D at fret 15 of the B string. Then we're going to play a B minor triad at frets 14 and 10 of the high E and fret 12 of the B string. Those notes are F sharp, D, and B. And we're going to complete this part of the lick with an A major triad at frets 12 and 9 of the E string and fret 10 of the B string. Those notes are E, C sharp, and A. So far, we've got this going on. Now here comes our pentatonic 5s with B minor pentatonic pattern 1 at the 7th position. We've got frets 10 and 7 on the E and B strings, fret 9 of the G string, frets 10 and 7 on the B string, 9 and 7 on the G, and then 9 on the D string, frets 9 and 7 on the G and D strings, followed by fret 9 of the A string, frets 9 and 7 on the D and A strings, followed by fret 10 on the low E string, and we end the lick with the B at fret 7 of the low E. Put it all together and we've got this situation. Now let's speed that one up and give it a go over the backing track. Check it out. So there are 5 licks that we came up where we seamlessly integrated a scale lick with an arpeggio idea, or an arpeggio idea with a scale lick. Whatever the case, we're working hard to make everything flow together. And of course, we're not going to do this with every lick we play. There's blues licks, there's licks where we just play melodies, and we're going to play scale runs and arpeggio runs that stand on their own. But I'm hoping you're going to push yourself to be as creative as you can be with your playing. And I think the licks that we're playing today are a step beyond something like this. Hey, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, slide over and check out my Patreon page. Work hard, play a lot of guitar, have a lot of fun. I'll be back next week with another video, so I'll see you then, but bye for now.